Hare Krishna. Vahancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. नामाचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. शीला प्रभुपाद की जय. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas College Station, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Third, to disobey the order of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not to have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Before we move on to Srimad Bhagavatam class, may I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज जय प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your sweet association. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Aksha Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashmati Priya Devidasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashmati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Dalal.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, blessing all of us with your sweet association. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gandharika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha Pyari Devidasi from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every single day and chanting so beautifully. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Okay, we will start the recording. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace BrajaMohan Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 1st chapter, 9th verse. Before I hand over the call to Prabhuji, I would like to read the brief introduction about Prabhu. His Grace BrajaMohan Prabhuji is a monk, a life coach, and an inspirational speaker. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj and a resident monk at at ISKCON Chowpatty in India. He is a student mentor at Indian Institute of Technology, Mumbai, where he also learned he also earned BTech degree. Prabhuji has a Master of Science degree in quantum physics from University of Illinois, Chicago. Prabhuji has given seminars on science, spirituality, leadership, relationships, and self-development. He has been speaking on various topics at prestige universities and at several corporations in the USA and India for over more than a decade. Using ancient wisdom for current dilemmas, his message inspires the audience to think deep, act right, and live full. Very beautiful introduction of Prabhuji. Is Prabhuji there on the call, Mataji? Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your wonderful services, Prabhuji. We are very fortunate to have you on the call today. Um, are you ready to start, Prabhuji? So today's verse is 8th canto, 1st chapter, 9th verse, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Yes, you can start.
Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 1, text number 9. Manur Uvacha Yena Chetayate Vishwam Vishwam Chetayate Nayam Yo Jagarti Tayanismin Nayam Tam Veda Vedasa. Manu Uvacha, Swayambhuva Manu chanted, Yena, by whom the personality of Godhead, Chetyate, is brought into animation. Vishwam, the whole universe. Vishwam, the whole universe, the material world. Chetyate animates, no, not yam, he who. Yaha, he who. Jagarti is always awake, watching all activities. Shayane, while sleeping. Asmin, this body. Na, not I am this living entity. He, tam, him. Veda, from him Veda. Knows, Veda knows. Saha, he. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Lord Manu said the Supreme Living Being has created this material world of animation. It is not that he was created by this material world. When everything is silent, the Supreme Being stays awake as a witness. The living entity does not know him, but he knows everything. Purport. Here is a distinction between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entities. Nityo Nityananam Chetanas Chetananam. According to the Vedic version, the Lord is the Supreme Eternal, the Supreme Living Being. The difference between the Supreme Being and the ordinary living being is that when this material world is annihilated, all the living entities remain silent in oblivion, in a dreaming or unconscious condition, whereas the Supreme Being stays awake as a witness of everything. This material world is created, it stays for some time, and then it is annihilated. Throughout these changes, however, the Supreme Being remains awake. In the material condition of all living entities, there are three stages of dreaming. When the material world is awake and put in working, this is a kind of dream, a waking dream. And when the living entities go to sleep, they dream again. And when unconscious at the time of annihilation, when this material world is unmanifested, they enter another stage of dreaming. At any stage of in the material world, therefore, they are all dreaming. In the spiritual world, however, everything is awake. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome to all the devotees for joining today morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class at the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference. And Shamagori Mataji uh, requested me to share some reflections on this verse. And Srimad Bhagavatam is very purifying because this Bhagavatam was spoken when the question was asked that what is the ultimate benefit for all living entities and especially for one who is about to die. And all these 88,000 sages at the beginning of Kali Yuga, they were all assembled in Naimisharanya, being extremely concerned that in Kali Yuga, people cannot follow complicated religious rituals and all this, become very complicated. And sometimes when we call a pujari or a pandit, we want the more complicated way he does all these puja rituals, the more kind of we like. But then, if he asks us to do any of this ourselves, then we'll say, Pandit ji, thoda simple mein bataiye na. Please tell us what to do simply. And therefore, in the beginning, Swarnaprash is asked Sutta Goswami, Bhurini Bhuri Karmani. There's so many types of activities that the living entity does. And for each activity, there are different remedies, different certificates. It's like when you go to a hospital, there's so many types of diseases and so many types of medicines that are there. Does anyone know how many types of tablets are there in this world, medicines? I never did any research, but if any of you want to do this research, there must be at least a million types of medicines that are available in the whole world for different ailments, and what to speak of all different types of therapies. And We don't have definitely time to try everything on our body, nor can we say everything is a medicine. Let me just take whatever no feels nice or whatever is easiest available, whatever I lay my hand on. So we approach a doctor. What's the right medicine for me in my situation? There was a devotee recently I met. She was having a cough for 6 months. It's not reducing only because the main crux of the issue was not understood. So she was taking so many types of medicines, so it was not working. And then finally she met a doctor who could get to the proper diagnosis and therefore go give the solution, the medicine, and naturally within a week she was all right. So many times, we are not able to come to the root cause of the problem, and therefore we are fighting. Einstein says this, that if you identify the root cause of the problem, you almost solved the problem. And in science, when they do PhD, the first 2 years in any research, any field, goes in identifying that where exactly is that bottleneck, where exactly is the issue, because of which the current is not increasing, or the flow is not growing, or the airlift is not happening, or even in software, where those who are in IT are finding the bug, not the effect of the bug. It can percolate into so many things. But if there is one error somewhere, it can create multitudes of errors. And you may try to fix one error somewhere, and then still the software doesn't work till you actually find where exactly is that one place where we have gone wrong. So the sages, 88,000 sages, they were inquired that where exactly is humanity is going wrong, and how do we fix this? And that time, question is the answer is the Bhagavatam. And if you're not, say, interested in the question, then naturally we may not be paying much attention to the answer. And we need to have that, the desire to solve the material riddle, the material puzzle at once, and not keep on prolonging our stay in this very uncertain, very unforgiving world that we are staying. Sarva Vedanta Saram hi Shri Bhagavatam Ishyate. The Bhagavatam is the essence, is the sar of all the Vedas. And Tat Rasamrata Triptasya. And one who drinks this Bhagavatam, the rasa of this Bhagavatam, Nanyatra Syat Rachik Kvachit. He doesn't nor look for nectar or kind of satisfaction anywhere else. So, so therefore, it is very important for us to regularly hear the Bhagavatam, and the Bhagavatam teaches us sometimes in an instructive way, and sometimes in a suggestive way, like a friend suggests, just like Prahlad Maharaj teachings to his friends, is in a suggestive way. Why don't you, uh, instead of worshipping Hiranyakashipu, why don't you worship Hari? Because Hari is the source, just like I am doing. And some places, Vedas become very strong. Bhagavatam becomes very strong. One who does not use his ears to hear the Bhagavatam, his ears are like the holes in which snakes reside, heavy words. And also Bhagavatam, more than anything, it teaches through the examples and lives of devotees how they have applied the Bhagavatam, applied the teachings of Krishna, which is the Gita, how they applied. So herein we see one of the great devotees of the Lord, who is also mentioned as a Mahajan, Swayambhuva Manu, he how does he lead his life? And I'll just give a short context that Manu, he had two daughters, uh, Akuti and Devahuti. And Devahuti's son was Kapila, and Kapila Muni, who was directly the Lord, he instructed Devahuti in transcendental knowledge, in Sankhya Yoga, and then he leaves to the forest. And then Devahuti perfects her life with whatever the knowledge message his son gives, and she achieves perfection. Then Yagyamurti, Akuti, has a son called as Yagyamurti. And before describing the activities of Yagyamurti, the current today's verse describes what did Swayambhuva Manu do after he fulfilled his grahastha responsibilities. Because uh, as a grahastha, as someone who is involved into material affairs, it's not that we are supposed to do that till the end of our life. Keep on managing worldly affairs because they never seems to end. Something or other is going wrong or is coming up with a need to attend to us, and we just keep troubleshooting. We just become firefighters to keep on attending to different things. But at some point or other, especially when your main duties are done, that your children are married and they have gone to their in-laws, to their husband's place. That time, Swayambhuva Manu, he raised the family very wonderfully, beautifully. But then now he starts to focus on his own journey. Because if in helping others lead their life, if we forget our own journey, sometimes I give example that there are two types of crew at the airport. One is called as ground staff, and another is called as air crew. So the ground staff, they help the passengers board the flight, but they themselves, they don't board the flight. They stay on the ground. And the others who are also board the flight, the air staff, the air hostess, the pilot, the co-pilot, and they travel along with, as they are helping others, in the journey, they themselves are also, are on a journey. In material life, sometimes we are so much absorbed in, taking care of others that we don't take care of ourselves, of our own spiritual journey. And especially the time of Vanaprastha, after one has fulfilled one's responsibilities, one has to go inwards. And here in Swayambhuva Manu, the seventh verse says, Virakta Kama Bhogeshu Shatarupa Pati Prabhu. He was anyway detached from the beginning because somebody who has the brahmachari training, before he gets married and understands the principles properly, he takes care of the family responsibly, but at the same time, he is there because there is a need. And he himself is not in need of that. And if he has a need, once he fulfills that, then he tries to come out of that need. Vishrija Rajyam Tapase. And what did he give up? Not just some little job, but his kingdom. And Sabharya. So as a Grahastha, he along with his wife, he went to the forest. And when he went to the forest, he started to do tapasya. And tapasya, which is of course in today's day and age, to stand on one leg and to do tapasya like this and not eating anything is physically may not be possible, but some kind of cutting down on sense gratification. Because if we are really wanting to focus on Krishna, long back when I was becoming a devotee, there was one equation which my mentor Gauranga Prabhu used to continuously keep hammering almost every class, uh, which was Krishna consciousness and sense gratification go ill together, or they're inversely proportional. And yes, in bhakti also there is happiness, and we have to become happy in the right way. Taking prasad is nice, but then if we eat beyond limit and we just not see it as prasad, as just some item, then the effect may be different. So here and now today comes the verse in which Manu, he is offering his prayers. So physical austerity, but bigger austerity than physical austerity is the austerity to the ego, to glorify someone else after you being the king, that is, uh, got accustomed to getting glorification. As a king, everybody is offering glorification. Recently, we did some festival, Ramnavami, in a big ground in over Bombay, and then we had called few local leaders, and everybody that comes on invitation, they all want special saman, garland, gift, shawl. So, and once you're getting accustomed to getting glorification, now coming away from all that and here in the forest to glorify Krishna. And it's not just some prayers that are written, but he's just impromptu here it speaking prayers from his heart. And he's speaking that, oh Lord, I'm not able to see you, but I have full faith that it is you who is created this world. It is you who is witnessing this world. One devotee was recently giving an example, but the living entity does not know him, but he knows everything. He gave two examples. One is of a car. In a car, sometimes there is tainted glass. The windows are tainted. So when the windows are tainted, then what happens? No, it seems to be that nobody is inside. And sometimes some boys, girls, when they're passing, they try to comb their hair or know, uh, just adjust their shirt. But one who is inside, he can fully see what is happening outside. Same way, apparently Krishna, we don't see Krishna around, but Krishna is seeing everyone at every situation. And this faith Manu is having. Prabhupada writes in the uh, 13th chapter, where Abhayam, the word, the 20 qualities are described. For one of the first qualities is Abhayam, fearlessness. And Prabhupada says this is the quality of a sannyasi, that he can go even to a forest where it is filled with wild animals, but he has faith in the Lord as a Paramatma, and therefore he can go peacefully in a forest and just meditate and know that if I am uh, having this faith in Krishna is in everyone's heart, then it's up to Krishna if he directs a lion or a tiger to attack me, or I will do my best to protect, say, having a saffron cloth on me or a jata or the deer skin. All this little bit of arrangements I will do, but still there is fearlessness in the heart to go into the forest, and it's kind of important for us to take time away, space away to think. Because sometimes when we are constantly in the buzz in the social circles, we are never able to no, go deep in our thoughts. We never are able to think for ourselves. We are all continuously trying to live for others, or trying to please either a family member or a society member or a temple members. Constantly, no, we are living for others. So a time away after the Grahastha ashram, or in between also, where you introspect and you try to correct your mindset, what are your desires, so you can again refocus on Krishna. So in this series of prayers that Manu is offering, and Manu is also one of the Mahajans mentioned, he is speaking that, "O Lord, even when the entire world is sleeping, you are not sleeping. You are witnessing even my sleep. Even the world is sleeping. And therefore, I want to connect to you. I want to, have a relationship with you." And Prabhupada here in this purport, he is mentioning about where there are three types of sleep or dreaming. One is when the world is running, we are active. It appears to be, we are not sleeping, we are active. There is a job or a activity to do. We're eating something, doing something. But uh, from the cosmic point of view, we are dreaming because we are thinking it is we who are doing. What is a dream? Where you think you are doing something, but it is not you who is doing it. So if I'm lifting my hand, and if it's a dream, if I'm dreaming that I'm lifting my hand, does it make sense? I'm lifting my hand, I'm seeing my hand being lifted, and to think that I'm lifting my hand is a dream. Anyone has any answer? How is when we are actively in the world, when you're doing things, how is it that this is called a dream?
Dream you are sleeping, so how will you remember? You don't know. You just think,
We are
but it
not
is
sleeping,
just...
we are awake. I'm awake. I'm seeing Shubhakar Krishna Prabhu, I'm giving a Zoom talk. I'm awake.
No.
So why
Now
is
we are
when we
conscious,
are
but you're telling while sleeping, if you lift your hand, that is
no,
dreaming.
I'm not saying when I'm sleeping, when I'm actually awake.
Yeah.
When I awake and I'm lifting my hand, here
Yeah.
Prabhupada is saying that is also a dream.
Oh, the whole material life is a dream.
So why material life is a dream? When I'm doing things and I'm seeing, I'm awake. Still, why it is called a dream?
Because no Krishna consciousness.
Okay. Any other understandings? Why is our being awake materially is also called a dream?
Is it because it's temporary, Prabhuji?
It's because it's temporary. Okay.
And also, Prabhuji,
Any
it is only the different stages of awakening, because it was said that everyone is awake, the wise men go to sleep, and everyone sleeping, the wise men awake. That's the reason.
Sanisha Jagrato. That
Yes.
what is night for a awakened person is a dream. Okay. Any other?
Prabhu, actually, whatever is done by the Atma, it is real. But we are using senses and our material things, these are all dreams.
Prabhuji, we are doing everything as per mind says. We don't do like, what is the soul is needed. So that's why it's kind of dreaming.
Okay. We are only doing whatever the body wants.
Yeah,
The
sense
mind wants. We are not
gratification.
doing. Therefore,
Because
it's a
Atma
dream.
is shut up. Atma is just tied up. It is just like a toy or like a baby just sitting, not able to do anything. Unko buddhu bana diya.
Okay. I'll give a hint. The first answer.
Correct.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, So,
Okay. There is a beautiful slok Bhagavatam says, Arte hi avadyamanepi, Arte hi avidyamanepi, Sanskruti na nivartate. Right? And then he says, Dhyayato visayan yasya, swapne anartho agamo yotha. So, the whole life is a dream for the spirit soul, which is under the grip of three modes of material nature. And this is because of the whole material world itself is a dream for Lord Vishnu, who is lying down in Karma Vision. And we are in part of that dream like that. That's what my understanding, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prahladananda Prabhu. Any other?
yeah, Namaste Prabhuji. I'm Lalita.
Namaste. Yes.
Yeah, I feel that in spite of all our intelligence and logical reasoning, we do our best to do best in any situation, like in service oriented or self, but we end up doing what the predestined action has to be happened. That's what my experience
Destiny is already decided,
taught me.
and we are thinking
Yeah,
we are doing
yeah,
something. Therefore, it's
something.
happening. Okay.
That's what I feel.
That's
Prabhu,
one understanding.
Prabhu, every life is a sleep. So each yoni is a sleep dream. Each night we are dreaming, we are thinking, I am
Why I'm
boss.
emphasizing this point is sometimes if you don't understand this point properly, we may become artificially detached. So therefore, I'm trying to
because
see
I am
what are
thinking
the
I'm
different.
chartered accountant or you are IIT. These are all dream. Very kuch nahi hai. This is not going to make any sense for Krishna. He's seeing how we are able to know the goal. Going back to Galded, that Krishna Charan, that is the real. That is the awakening. That is the awakening.
Yes. Any other understandings?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. From what I understand, Prabhu, is that when the soul is disconnected from Krishna, it is in the dormant state. And because it has a distorted image because of ahankar, it thinks it is living and it is having a different vision of the living. But once the soul is awakened, it realizes that it has to be in connection with Krishna. It has an eternal life. Now, because of the desire, Krishna actually, we forgot Krishna and we had this desire, right? To enable us, Krishna sent us with avidya into this world, and we think it is, we are bewildered thinking that I'm living, this is my parents, this is who I am, this is my body. That is a distorted image of me. Once that is broken, I actually awake from that sleep and I am eternally connected to Krishna. That realization comes. Today, the soul is dormant, and that's why it doesn't realize that this is not the reality. This is the sleeping or dreaming mode. It doesn't realize. But once that awakening happens, it kind of realizes that eternal life is with Krishna. That's what I understand, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay. One last, if anyone else wants to add before I give my perspective.
Yours should be the correct, Prabhu. You only tell.
No, it's not
Prabhu,
about.
you have something in your mind, so maybe you can delete that.
So this is this understanding comes from the 5th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In the 5th chapter, Krishna says there are 3 doers. One is a sanctioner. Krishna is the sanctioner. The material nature is the executor. And the soul is a desire. So the power of the living entity is only that it can desire something. The ability to execute is in the hands of Prakriti and Krishna. But when I'm lifting my hand and I'm thinking I'm lifting my hand, it's not correct because you could only desire. You are not actually lifting the hand. What happens in a dream? You're thinking you are running, but you're not running. Same way when I'm awake, I'm thinking I'm enjoying or I'm doing this or that, but it is the material nature that is doing it. And foolishly, the soul thinks, I am the doer. So when we are awake, the dream is aspect that I am doing something, that it is me who is doing things, and which is the dream. And when a living entity starts to awaken, he starts to understand it is Krishna who is the real doer. What can I do? Because some body, ailment comes, some say brain doesn't function, then although I want to lift, in paralysis, you cannot lift. Although I want to see, if some say something happens to the eye, you cannot see. So either something happens nicely or something doesn't happen nicely. Many times we start to become either proud or disappointed because we start to think that ये मेरे करने से हुआ. It is me who is active in this world.
Responsible.
Yeah. Padma Patra Vivambasi. Krishna says, Brahmanya aya adaya karmani. So in that in that word, 5th chapter, the Brahmani that is used is that actually the material nature is only active in this world. The soul only conveys its desire to the Paramatma. Paramatma conveys to Prakriti. Just like when we give a printout order, we give to the CPU. Then the CPU gives to the monitor. So, but still, the person who is as taking the printout, he may get the benefit. It's the same way, the soul doesn't have any direct contact with the material nature. It is the soul's desire to be in the material nature that Paramatma keeps us. And the soul desires the Paramatma. He sees our activities list, what all, our karmic list. And if it is proper, then he approves. Then, so there is, the Krishna is the real doer. Krishna is the one who is actually animating this world. Everything that has happened in my life, it is Krishna who was the main element. Yes, grossly, just like when we see an actor is saying a dialogue, or he is, say, killing someone, or say he is being praised. Now, just because you played a role in a movie for, say, 5 years, the movie shooting was happening, and in that 5 years, you are a billionaire in that movie, and you are being respected. If once the movie is over, if that actor, when he comes out, if that actor comes out, and then he's saying that now nobody is offering me salam, respect, so nobody is bringing me a car to go in. So then all that he was, if he starts to identify, मुझे respect मिल रहा है, then all that was a dream. Awake, जागते हुए वो as in, he was dreaming that he was being respected. It's not that he was asleep. He was awake, but he was thinking that it is me who is, getting all this glory or this or that. It was the director's wish that he gets respect. And it is the director's wish that now his role is over. He need not be offered any respect. So the more we understand, it is Krishna who is making us capable for something or other. Then then we may be doing things, but we understand how much directors was I was acting under the act. Therefore, many heroes and heroines, when they get an award, they say, my only credit is that I just surrendered to the director. That the director wanted this way, and I just did, trusting what was his will. Arjuna initially was also feeling it is me who is fighting, I should not be fighting. But then he understood it is Krishna who is actually the doer. If I don't take part, then he will establish Dharma in another way. He'll find another actor. So when we and to understand this aspect that it is Krishna who is the director, I am only actor. And when we don't understand the role of the director and we directly take credit for the roles we are playing, then it is called no Jagrut dream. We are awake, but still we are dreaming. Like sometimes there are some politicians in India who think they deserve to be the prime minister. So they are dreaming because they know nobody can claim any position in this world. So that's one dream, which is the most strongest dream because we have to be very consciously trying to avoid and trying to see Krishna. But just to help us understand this dream, Krishna has also given us a sleeping dream. Because if the dream concept was not given to us by Krishna in the form of sleep, we would have never understood that even my awakened state is a dream. So Krishna is merciful that, he's trying to give us a signal through our lives' different aspects. If we love someone and if we're feeling pain, then through that pain, Krishna is showing us what the true pain of being separated from Krishna through that pain. Or somebody appreciates us, through that Krishna is showing that the true value in being with Krishna and experiencing his love. So the sleeping dream, naturally all of us have experienced, that is another dream. And the third dream is where, which some of you have mentioned, is Mahavishnu is sleeping. And in his sleep, we are all also in Sushupti, in deep sleep. And in that there is a dream. So Prabhupada is mentioning these three types of dream. And a stark example or uh, proof of how Srila Prabhupada was empowered, because he was nowhere, at any point of time, he was taking credit for himself. And I was very touched when just before the class, Mataji asked me to share, and I opened this chapter and I was reading the introduction of this chapter. It's very beautiful. Let me share the screen. It's worth reading the introduction to this chapter, where Prabhupada is expressing his heart. Very few places Prabhupada, shares in this way. I'm sure it was a very emotional moment for Prabhupada to have completed 7 cantos. Can everyone see my screen? Is the screen visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So you can understand, 7 cantos have been finished. So after the 12 cantos, 7 cantos have been finished. And now Prabhupada is starting a 8th canto. And even if we read a canto, we feel so much honor and happiness. Like, oh man, I completed 1 canto. What to speak of writing? All this amidst so much that was happening. So Prabhupada starts to dedicate. So I'll just read through this and maybe offer few places some words. First of all, let me offer my humble, respectful obeisances into the lotus feet of my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Sometime in the year 1935, when His Divine Grace was staying at Radhakund, I went to see him from Bombay. So this was his last meeting with Prabhupada, with his Guru. Prabhupada went from Bombay to Vrindavan to meet his Guru in the year 1935. At that time, he gave me many important instructions in regard to constructing temples and publishing books. We only know one line. Anyone remembers that line? What Prabhupada's Guru told him about temples and books?
Distribute books.
Yes.
Print books, whatever
Completely.
money you get, you print books.
Yes. Whatever money you get, print books. That was Prabhupada's. So that was given. I'm sure many more instructions were given, which Prabhupada
Go
is
to the West
mentioning
and
here.
preach. Go to the West and
Yeah.
preach.
At that time, he gave me many important instructions in regard to constructing temples and publishing books. He personally told me that publishing books is more important than constructing temples. Of course, those same instructions remained within my mind for many years. So 1935, he gave the instruction. And in 1944, I began publishing my Back to Godhead. And when I retired from family life in 1958, I began publishing Srimad Bhagavatam in Delhi. When 3 parts of Srimad Bhagavatam had been published in India, I then started for the United States of North of America on the 13th of August, 1965. So 1935, he got the instructions. 1965, 30 years it took for him to execute the order of his Guru. And Prabhupada, he starts to write. I am continuously trying to publish books as suggested by my spiritual master. Now, in this year 1976, I have completed the 7th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and a summary of the 10th canto has already been published as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, like Radhanand Maharaj explains that Prabhupada was feeling that he may not be able to stay to come till 10th canto. Therefore, he gave a summary study. Once Prabhupada was asked, what is summary study, Prabhupada? Then Prabhupada funnily said, whatever I want to write about Krishna, that's summary study. Still, the 8th canto, 9th canto, 10th canto, 11th canto, and 12th canto are yet to be published. So Prabhupada definitely wanted to complete the Bhagavatam. On this occasion, therefore, I am praying to my spiritual master to give me the strength to finish this work. I am neither a great scholar nor a great devotee. I am simply a humble servant of my spiritual master. And to the best of my ability, I am trying to please him by publishing these books with the cooperation of my disciples in America. Beautiful heart of a great soul, where he is not thinking he is a doer. He is only thinking was my Guru's instruction, and by my disciples' help, I am just a humble servant. For someone to write this line, I am neither a great scholar nor a great devotee. When you are managing in 1975, almost at least 60 to 70 temples were there of ISKCON. Thousands of disciples were made, and amidst all this, for Prabhupada to think, and he was translating not from English to English. He was actually reading Sanskrit purports, commentaries of the Acharyas, and writing them in English. And at few times he had cried when he was chanting. He had the vision of Rupa Goswami, but his humility is that I am neither a great scholar nor a great devotee. I am simply a humble servant of my spiritual master, and to the best of my ability, I am trying to please him by publishing these books with the cooperation of my disciples in America. Fortunately, scholars all over the world are appreciating these publications. Let us cooperatively, so very strong and important word, cooperatively, please cooperate. Publish more and more volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam just to please His Divine Grace, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Of course, the rest of the introduction is about what is in this chapter. But it was like a blessing to me to be able to read, because I know in Chaitanya Charitamrita ending, Prabhupada writes, really pours out his heart. and some places in the Bhagavatam where Prabhupada speaks about himself, how he was blessed, just like Dhruva, to have a parent who inspired him to take bhakti. Few places, and this is also one of those gems where Prabhupada is really feeling a lot of emotion of gratitude, of humility, of just to please his guru. Prabhupada did this entire mission. Therefore, whether we are doing anything, the moment we start to think what am I doing is some work, some this or that, then we are dreaming. But when we are actually following Krishna's instructions, Guru's instructions, then we are actually not dreaming, but really awake. Therefore, Dhruva Maharaj also he speaks this prayer. Yo anta pravishya mamavach imam prasuttam sanjeevat yakila shakti dhara swaramna. So he prays, "Oh Lord, it is you who awaken me from inside. Otherwise, I'm so-called ruling or I'm not living, but I'm dreaming because I'm thinking that I am the one who is trying to enjoy. But when we start to come to the conception that I've been given opportunity to serve Krishna and Guru, and when we live that way, then we don't fall into dream. Else, Krishna is witnessing everything silently, all three levels of dream. We'll stop here and see if any devotees have any reflections or any questions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you for reading that introduction. That's heart-touching, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And also the discussion about the dream. That's also very nice. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very grateful to
Thank
you.
you.
Krishna Prabhu, please go ahead with your question. What happened, Prabhu? Are you not able to unmute? Can you unmute now?
Sorry. Thank you, Mataji, for unmuting me. BrajaMohan Prabhu, it was a wonderful class. Now you told that we are not the doers, Krishna is the doer. So the four anarthas, no meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex, those are also we are doing. So is Krishna the doer, or I don't know, how do you say that? Everything.
Prabhu, 5th chapter, three doers. We are only participant because we are desiring, therefore we get the bill. We are counted for that, but we are not the one who is actually doing that. So
But we get
if
the
any
karma, no?
we
Sin
get the
comes on us,
karma
no?
because we have decided. We have decided, but I am not lifting the. I have desired to lift the hand, and Paramatma has allowed me to lift the hand.
So we are missing
When
the
I say
free will.
yes.
Oh, Shastra पढ़ के भी जानते हुए भी we are doing the wrong things. So Krishna said, though you are not the doer, but you are the doer.
Yes, we are doer because we are desiring to do it. Just desire करने से we start to claim the entire thing is foolish, is dreaming. Okay.
So if we desire good things also, we'll get suppose we want to make a temple, but we have no money.
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita is mentioned. In Kali Yuga, the benefit is that if you just desire to do a activity, then you get the benefit of it. What to speak of doing a good activity. And Kali Yuga, another benefit is that if you think wrongly, till you do, you don't get the karma of it. But definitely it will. But because in the previous ages, both mental good and bad both had reactions. But in Kali Yuga, mental good has the result, but mentally thinking wrong doesn't have direct result till it comes into action.
But that is spoil the consciousness.
Therefore, yes. Therefore, everyday desire to go to Mangalarti, everyday desire to go to do Govardhan Parikrama, everyday desire to serve your guru's feet, you get the benefit of it.
But jana bhi padega, not every day this.
True desiring means if you get the opportunity, you do it.
Yeah.
Else it is not a trick of the trade.
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Any other devotees?
Thank you, Prabhuji. Any more questions for Prabhuji? Any realizations? Okay. Sindhura Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Very beautiful session. Thank you for that understanding about the dream. I had a related question about the same thing. When we do bhakti also, it is the same. Is that what I'm hearing, Prabhu? In the sense, I want to get up for doing japa. Both my endeavor also should be there, but again, if the actual doer is Prakriti and Krishna, how do we understand that, Prabhu?
Yes, bhakti activity or material activity, all activities in this world, the soul can only express a desire to the Paramatma. It is the Paramatma who is the sanctioner, Prakriti who is the doer. This is what Krishna speaks in the 5th canto, 5th chapter of the Gita. So bhakti also, therefore I have chanted 16 rounds. No. Krishna has kindly allowed me to chant 16 rounds. That is the proper understanding. Krishna has allowed me to go to Vrindavan. Krishna has allowed me to do this. That is a better way of thinking, because that is what, as per what Bhagavad Gita is speaking.
Thank you, Prabhu. This is a wonderful lesson. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Is there anybody having any more questions? Please go ahead. Okay. I see no more raised hands, Prabhuji. If there are no more questions or
Hare
realizations.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanavad pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your class. Very nice, and you don't have to prepare. You are always prepared to give Bhagavatam class. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very, very
Your
good.
desire, Mataji. Krishna's empowered because of your desire. I don't have any. Whatever just came to my heart, I spoke.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Once again, I would like to offer my obeisances to you and all the Vaishnavas assembled on the call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhu bhyeva pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, says BrajaMohan Prabhuji ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti koti
Hare
dandavat
Krishna.
pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Radhe Radhe.